You know, it's often when Rare adds something to the game concerning the storyline, they often like to play with our emotions, using lovable characters and either killing them off or making them change sides to really make us wonder what the next step is going to be. But in 2023, we're yet to see another member of our lovable NPC force change sides or be removed from corporeal existence. We have, however, had some pretty good things happen. Briggsy is back, and her adventures can continue. However, the Dark Brethren nabbed her, and we have no idea where she is now. But one thing is for sure, Rare have prepped the wool and will be pulling it over our eyes in 2023. The tease animations brought out in 2022 sure have a lot of convoluted information in them to make us all wonder, such as this clip right here. I'll let it play in its entirety first.
So, an imposter watches their every move. It sees a vault. Who is this imposter who watches from the shadows? Of course, now we watch and wait. We wait until the tides turn. The Guardians of Fortune will be destroyed from the inside. The legend you speak of can rot within his prison.
So the Servant of Flame talks about a vault. This part is pretty obvious. The vault he is referring to is this vault, the new Gold Hoarder's Gold Bank, added in the most recent patch, alongside this stunning new Order of Souls commune area. If you look closely, the area on which the people are working is what has become the new Gold Hoarder Vault Room. So this part of the teasers has come into fruition. So we're done with this part of the speculation. But he also talks about an imposter, and we see a strange rat watching over Merrick stood at Golden Sands. Now, of course, your first thought is Merrick is indeed the imposter that he speaks of, and that could actually make sense. You see, when Merrick was murdered and abducted by the Dark Brethren, from our perspective, we simply went over there and freed him, but we have no idea what happened to him after the cinematic.
I ain't telling you nothing.
Is that so? I killed you once before, Merrick. And believe me when I say that I have no problem with tearing your soul apart.
Merrick is slung to the floor, and the camera moves to the Warsmith and Duke.
You do realize they'll come here to save him?
Of course.
Does anyone else feel like the whole rescue of Merrick was a little too easy? Oh no, you got us. What a shame. Please take a free Merrick. It's almost like they wanted us to take him, because they knew he was broken. It's entirely plausible that Merrick could be the imposter who will destroy Athena's fortune from within, and maybe Merrick himself doesn't even know this. I could easily see the Dark Brethren using Merrick as a sleeper agent without him even knowing about it. Just a simple word from the Dark Brethren and he activates. Hey, Merrick, fish pie.
Protocol Slap Ramsey activated.
But no, I don't think it's that simple. Rare love to hide evidence in plain sight, but not make it so obvious as this. The true imposter must be this rat. The Reapers have a familiar in the form of the Reaper's parrot, so it would make sense that the Dark Brethren also have one in the shape of a rat. I mean, it makes sense. Bilge rat. But aside from these tease animations brought out at Christmas time, Rare have been hiding this rat in a couple of images on their social platform. This first one on Twitter, asking the Twitter community what they should call this dog. Looks innocent enough, but zooming in reveals this rat peeking around the shop sign. Another post asking the community which are their favorite canon skins. And once again, our green-eyed friend peeking around from the capstan. But when Rare hide things in images like this, the image itself is often a hint too. The first image we see is a dog, you could say a sea dog. So let's talk about that for a moment. DeMarco, recently murdered, who was in fact given orders by his father to create an alliance with the Sirens. DeMarco denied these orders and instead went about finding a crew to escape the Sea of Thieves and go on his own adventures. And in the process was murdered, and as we all know, you cannot actually die in the Sea of Thieves. You are merely transferred to another plane of existence. DeMarco, wherever he is now, would essentially be an outcast, and that's essentially what the Dark Brethren are. are, a band of outcasts, people who were denied and or banished from the Sea of Thieves for doing nothing more than trying to live their version of a pirate's life. So the Dark Brethren would essentially become an allied force for DeMarco, so there is potential that DeMarco, the Pirate Lord's son, could have joined forces with the Dark Brethren, and he will be the force that destroys Athena's fortune from within. It's plausible, but I don't think they'll go this route. There is, however, one other option, and perhaps the most plausible, and you're not going to like it. Let's listen to what the Servant of Flame says one more time.
You must reveal it now. Who is this impostor who watches from the shadows? Of course. Now we watch and wait. We wait until the tides turn. The Guardians of Fortune will be destroyed from the inside. The legend you speak of can rot within his prison.
He asks the relic what the name of the impostor is. He then says the impostor will ruin Athena's fortune from the inside, and then refers to the legend rotting in their prison. As stated before, the Dark Brethren are a neutral faction. They are against both Athena's fortune and Flameheart. They are a band of outcasts. The blacksmith who just wanted to sell cursed cannonballs, but was denied. The lovable bilge rat who just wanted us to go on adventures no matter the contractor, was denied. And the Sea Dog's representative who just wanted to fight her battles on the seas and not take part in silly arena matches, was denied. And a skull on a stick. The Dark Brethren are nothing more than people who have been denied their pirate's life because they thought differently to everyone else. They're not essentially evil, they've just made wrong choices due to the attitude of the people who live within Sea of Thieves. They're just incredibly angry at the card they have been dealt, and they wish to fight back and establish themselves in their original home. So with that in mind, can anyone else think of someone who was denied their way of thinking by the inhabitants of the Sea of Thieves? Who's the one person that was banished in the most public way possible, who decided to make a sacrifice for the power of good, and to a huge majority lead had essentially most of the inhabitants of Sea of Thieves, us, deny his act of salvation? Pendragon is a literal outcast now. His faith in the Sea of Thieves would be totally stripped. Compared to the other members of the Dark Brethren, Pendragon wasn't just denied, he was forcibly removed by the majority of the player base. And not only that, banished to a distant corner of the Sea of the Damned. And in his place, Flameheart, his oldest of enemies, took his place. Pendragon, whether you like it or not, would be in a position of total hate for the Sea of Thieves. He sacrificed everything, only to be betrayed. And the Sea of the Damned is the Dark Brethren's home, and once they heard word of his banishment, they would likely seek out a powerful ally who would now understand their agenda. This is why in another teaser clip, the Servant of Flame mentions that the imposter seeks the Sword of Souls. And also in the screenshots with a hiding rat, one of them takes place aboard an Athena vessel, and the other, with a man holding a dog, if you look closely, is dressed in the legendary Treasure Seeker costume, an award only granted to pirates within Athena's tavern. The Servant of Flame refers to the imposter as the legend, who can rot in their prison, the prison we all sent him to. I think Pendragon will return, but it might not be in the way that we all imagine. And of course, there is one member of the Dark Brethren we are yet to see. Thanks for watching, folks, and I shall see you in the next one. But before I go, please remember to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and do all the other stuff, pressing things and stuff. And I shall see you all very soon indeed. Until then, may the wind always be in your sails, and may the water be sort of, well, not just don't sail northwest. It sucks.